Good morning, everyone. Good morning. How's your heart today? Is your heart kind? Is your heart kind? How's your mind? Is your mind calm and clear? This is going to be part one of maybe 2 or 3 videos about mercy. Let's break it down. One of the Beatitudes, which is in the title of this video, is, and it's from the New Testament and attributed to Jesus. New Testament, new contract. Blessed are the merciful, for they shall receive mercy. I decided yesterday, actually, toward the evening, that I was going to do these teachings on mercy. And so it's been on the back burner in my mind all night. And I woke up this morning and I wanted to see what was on the internet, on YouTube. What is mercy? Before I get to that, I want to give you some of my background from the 1990s, okay? I was homeless. Got help from the Salvation Army, and so I felt an obligation to give something back. So I started going to their services and I started participating in their events, helping the poor. Then I became a Sunday school teacher. Part of my preparation for Sunday school was to study the Bible. Old Testament, particularly the New Testament, the new contract from Jesus. And actually, I studied the translations from Aramaic and Hebrew into English. And my preaching style, I actually adopted the preaching style of old-time black preachers. Did a lot of studies on them. And so when I get excited in a video, that's where that comes from. Also had a nursing home ministry, and I used to go into prisons and preach the word, okay? So I went into the YouTube search and put down, typed in, what is mercy? And I listened to about 40 seconds of the first video, Got Questions Ministry. And they said mercy is confusing, to define it. So they defined it as the gift of God's undeserved kindness and compassion. I'm like, undeserved? Why are you saying undeserved? We don't deserve it? And this is where I differ with explanations like this, because what I know is, in the Old Testament, we were made in the likeness and image of God. We, according to the Old Testament, were created in the likeness and image of God. And it made me think, like how we're born into our families, okay? You might look like your mom, you might look like your dad. Excuse me. Somebody might say, you sound like your mom, you sound like your dad. You know, like we were created in their image and likeness when we were born. And isn't God love? If God is love, why would someone say mercy is God's gift of undeserved kindness and compassion, right? It doesn't make sense when you think about it. If God is love and mercy comes from God, how is it we don't deserve it when we were created in the likeness and image of God? Like God. Image of God. Well, if God withholds mercy on us, and we were created in the image and likeness of God, well, if you're not a merciful person to other people, then you were created in the image and likeness of God, who only gives you mercy at certain times when you don't deserve it anyway, according to these teachings. Blessed are the merciful, for they shall receive mercy. What does that mean to me? I'm not going to make this a lengthy video, but I'm going to make a couple parts on mercy. You'd have to go back in time to study the early followers of Jesus, not Christians. Jesus didn't call them Christians. The followers of Jesus. And what they did. So we're talking about the Gnostics. We're talking about Christian mystics that came out of that. And in various religions, there's various methods, and this is what I'm leading to make conscious contact with God. Okay? So, I don't believe that there is no mercy unless we do this or that. Ever hear that saying, treat people like you want to be treated? You get back what you give? Or the West's definition of karma, which is quite different from where it originated from. You know, you reap what you sow. I don't know if you could define mercy, and I'm going to get into it a little bit more in the next video. I like a little bit that they said kindness and compassion in that one video I mentioned earlier. But if we were to strip away all our judgments, our insecurities, and fears, we would find that we are merciful beings. If we were to strip away our insecurities, judgments, and fears, we would find we are merciful beings. When you're merciful to other people, when you're helpful, when you're kind, when you're compassionate, it has a way of coming back to you.